Welcome to another episode. This is JR, founder and CEO of Social Market.
Hey, my name's Leon Hitchens, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Social Market.
Yeah, we have another episode for you at Social Ledger Report. This is from Robinhood, where they launched Robinhood Ventures. Now, Robinhood has been doing a lot in the last month, actually, where they had their I don't know what it was called. I don't know if you know it, Leon, but they had their kind of like events. In fact, a lot of companies had their event where they announced a bunch of products, and Robinhood
Just
was one
their,
of them,
yeah, it's like I forget what Robinhood called it, but they
like
did
Summit
something like
something.
insiders or something. Like
Yeah,
all of these companies are doing some sort of special event to announce new products and updates.
yeah. So while this event of theirs happened a few weeks ago, this was released this last week. This is from Amit from Twitter, and he says, "Breaking: Robinhood announces that they have filed with the SEC to launch Robinhood Ventures Fund (RVI), a concentrated portfolio of innovative private companies leading their industries." Well, folks, it looks like Robinhood is going to IPO a fund that allows retail to invest into the best private companies. For decades, wealthy people and institutions have invested in private companies while retail investors have been unfairly locked out. With Robinhood Ventures, everyday people will be able to invest in opportunities once reserved for the elite, said Robinhood Chairman and CEO Vlad Tenev. Robinhood is not stopping. Let's fucking go. Which, yeah, I think that's amazing. I think the closest model we have to that for retail investors is if you have enough capital, you might be considered an angel investor. You can join an angel group and you can put your money with others into like a liquidity pool. And then that liquidity pool gets spread out into different companies as a form of investment. I know that's how Alamo Angels from San Antonio operates essentially,
Yeah.
which I know you have more experience on
Also,
that.
also, I think this is kind of like part of their IPO product more than anything. Like
Okay.
this is kind of how I understood it more than like a Alamo Angels or like an angel investing pool. Is
Yep.
this was going to be like an IPO thing because when you go and they have those pre-selected IPOs, like Gemini was a pre-selected IPO in there, I believe. I
Yes.
forget the previous one. You have to request to allocate shares, and a lot of times Robinhood users are all requesting it. And even if you request 50 or 100 shares, you might only get one or two. Like I've done a few IPOs where I've gotten three or four and I've asked for much, much more shares on them. I think that's part of it is to help them like stabilize that thing and then give Robinhood users early insight, early like IPO access and guarantee it because there's so many allocated shares. And then also
Yes.
for them to like really capitalize on those investments and push it. And then I also do think that there's a component of like angel investing that they want to do it, but they're looking as like a VC where step one is get them to one point, and then step two is get them to IPO so that there's value for their platform. Because if you could IPO and there's exclusive pricing for one of these stocks and only Robinhood has it, like why wouldn't you use Robinhood over anything else?
I mean, I was watching this video last week about Robinhood just kind of changing the status quo as far as the financial world goes. Before, this is just a very small example. Like, essentially, Robinhood started by trading stocks, and you could get free stocks. And before that, you would have to go to a broker, and you have to pay like at least $10 or some large sum of that just to make one single purchase of of a stock, which would disincentivize people buying like five, maybe a few dollars worth of stocks just to play the waters. They would often have to put $100 or maybe even more than that just to make fair value of their investment. Because if they put $100, then 10% of that goes into the broker, which they would just make a shitload of money through that. So Robinhood comes here and says, nah, screw all that. And then they release the stock broker app, and you can trade with as little as a dollar. Or I think $5 is the minimum cap or something. But the point is it changed the narrative for stock brokers, and the larger firms had to follow suit because they weren't getting any clientele. So now, for Robinhood Ventures, I can see this happening all over again, especially for like the large investment pools like Alamo Angels or angel investors sort of thing. I don't know how that will turn out, but I think it'll be very interesting to see. So This is from Robinhood Ventures. This is from Newsroom. They kind of talk about everything that we just talked about. A cool point here was the number of publicly traded companies in the US has fallen from 7,000 in the year 2000 to about 4,000 in 2024, shrinking the number of investable opportunities for retail traders. At the same time, private companies are growing in the number and value, with the estimated value of these firms in the US now surpassing $10 trillion. Robinhood Ventures Fund RVI aims to expand the access to important and often closed off part of the market. Robinhood is really cool. I would probably buy their stock more now, seeing how they're doing this. I think it's a huge opportunity for them. They're gonna probably get a lot of money from that, like from retail investors. So that'd be cool to see. That'd be cool to see. I know this is not a crypto related story, but Robinhood does have crypto, and I can see this also expanding into crypto to some capacity for at least crypto based companies like Gemini. So
Yeah, I think if there's opportunity to IPO, those will go forward. So I think they're going to be more traditional, like exchanges and stuff there, or companies with crypto like backing of some capacity, but not full like crypto companies at the moment until IPOs can really be fleshed out as full on like companies.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited. Like I'm actually really excited for this. People getting capital. So like accessing these IPOs and closed door opportunities that retail investors don't get. So I'm pretty excited for that.